Today we're going to be changing a charging port on a Blackberry Classic Q20. Keep watching, we'll show you how to do it. Hey, what's up guys? It's Jeff Lepard. Thanks for watching. Today we're going to be changing a charging port on a Blackberry Classic Q20. So what actually started happening was the phone wouldn't take a charge anymore. We tried various cords. It won't connect to the desktop manager. And after trying various cords, it failed to charge the battery. So we've determined that the charging port is faulty on the Blackberry. So we're going to show you how to do this. If this ever happens to you, hopefully this video will help you change your charging port. So the first thing we need to do is we have to take this bottom plate off below your keyboard. After removing that plate, there'll be two screws that you'll have to take out. Get your precision screwdrivers handy. You'll need a Phillips and a flathead. So you'll have to pry this part off to gain access to the two screws. Once you remove those screws, then we will have to pry this back plate off, the back cover of your phone. So we're going to go ahead and we'll start that right now. Just try to take this off. If you have long thumbnails or something like that, I know a lot of guys, they use their thumb to do so. I don't really have long thumbnails, so as you see, this is it's got a little bit of sticky tape on it as well. And you got to be very careful so you don't break it. Okay, there we go. So we got the bottom plate cover off, and there we have the access to the screws here. So now we're going to take these two screws off. Actually, little correction: it's not a Phillips screw. It's a I don't know what you call it. It's a bit of a Torx precision. That's that almost star looking one. We're just going to take this off. Okay. Take off the other one. Okay. So now we got that off. We're just going to try to see if we can pry the back cover off. Okay, and you got to be very careful. There's you don't do anything to the camera and that behind that. So we've got the cover off now. So now what we're going to do before we go any further, we're going to remove the SIM card and the slot, as well as the SD card in the slot. Now in this phone there's no SD card in there, but we're just going to remove the slot. So you're going to need a pen, some sort of a pin, and you're just going to put it into that hole, and you're going to press in, and that'll open up the slot. Just like that. Pull the slot out and put that aside. Same thing we'll do for the SIM card. Oh, there we go. Open. Okay, and there's your SIM card. Okay, so now we've got that removed. So now we've got to continue removing screws. There's going to be approximately about 15 screws around the that you're going to have to remove this plate here that secures the battery and the charging port. And you have to also lift these the side pieces up once you get this off. You'll see. So Sometimes the screws are a little stuck, but they'll come out. This one we got a different color screw, but it's the same screw. So just take note and put that aside. You just want to double check to make sure you got all the screws. You don't want to be pulling on anything when you have a screw down that'll snap or crack the casing. Okay, so we're going to get our little pry thing. I'm going to pry this connection up here. Okay, that should just pop up. Okay. Okay, now that we got that cover off, that'll give us access to the battery and the rest of the board. There's another plate down there. We're going to try to not have to remove that the whole thing, because what we want to do is just access this charging port. So we have the new one here. Got the new one in the bag, and it'll go like this. So that actually sits underneath the battery. So we've got to gain access to get that off. We actually have to lift this part off, and hopefully we don't have to separate the entire thing. But so what we got to do is gain access underneath here, and there's also a screw, the charging port there. So we're just going to go ahead and take that off now. Okay, so this is actually the charging port here. Now we just have to free it, and this is the part that's faulty right here. Now we just have to access that underneath this board. Okay, just want to get it. Okay, and there we have that. Looks like we have to take this plate off too to gain access to it. There we go. So this is our faulty charging port. Okay, so we have our new charging port. We're just going to slide that underneath the casing here and then seat that in place like so. You can see the other ends come out here. For when the board gets put back on, we can reconnect that. Press that down a bit. Okay, so now we're going to just screw back in on the right. Okay, now we can start assembling. The charging port's been changed. Now we just have to start assembling the phone back together again. Now when you're putting the case back, you just have to make sure that the charging port strip here is on top, like that, so you can connect it after. And you just gotta take your time pressing all around to make sure the screw holes all line up. And make sure you're not pressing against anything that doesn't belong. Just work your way around it. And this is when you put the new charging port in, you're gonna have to do a little slight bend here to match up the connections. Just give it a slight little bend and then press down firmly. There we go. A little tricky, but once you get it in place, you know when it's in place, just like that. So now we have the new charging port. It's already installed with just the one screw now, and the top portion of it has been connected to the board. So now we're going to start applying our screws to secure the board again. Make sure you don't over tighten the screws. You don't want to strip it. Okay, so we're just putting this last plate on. Just making sure everything lines up. Okay, now we're gonna go ahead and reconnect the battery to the board. Just going to press that firmly in to make sure it's connected to the board. Okay, we'll put our bracket in. Like that. Just going to screw that into place. That secures the battery to the board. Now we're just going to start putting our screws back in to secure the plate in place. And this is our last screw here, that backing plate. So now we're going to get our back plate, the rear case of the phone, back on. We're just going to give it a quick wipe. Just going to line that up. And just give it a little press until you hear it click. And you know that it's back in place, like that. Just make sure that you don't have any corners sticking out or it's not pressed into anything. If it clicks into place, then you know that everything inside lined it up. The board's lined up. And it should be good to go. Then we got 2 screws in the front to secure the back plate that we just snapped on. Okay, and now our bottom plate, just to go over, and that should click into place as well. And that it is. We're going to reinstall the SIM card. And we'll put the SD slot back in as well. And there you have it. The phone's put back together with the new charging port. Now we're just going to run a test. I'll grab the cord and see if the phone powers up. Okay, so we've got our cord. We're going to power it up for the first time now. Let's see if that reacts. So we've got a red light indicating that it's receiving power. So here we go. The phone is received enough battery to starting to boot up. And you can see starting Blackberry 10 OS. And the phone will turn on momentarily as soon as it boots up. Okay, so there we have it. The phone's boot up. Because we have the SIM card out and we put the SIM card back in, it actually has to get the proper date and time and all that. So yeah, the fix was 100% good. The phone's taking a charge, and my job's done. So I just want to thank you guys for watching my video. Don't forget to check out my other videos, and check out www.jefflepard.com. It's in the description there, and there's lots of other good stuff you can take a look at what we do. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.